The click of her heels was measured, not loud, but each step carried intent. John Jungkook did not bother to look up from his monitor. Leave the files on the desk. No files, the voice responded crisply, feminine controlled. But I do have a question, she continued. Do you always greet people like they are delivery boys? Jungkook's eyes flicked up. The woman standing at the front was not like the last few assistants who stammered under his gaze or dressed like they were auditioning for a drama role. She wore black skirts, a white button down, hair pulled back, not messy, not styled, just efficient. Like her. Sharp eyes colder than his. A lanyard badge hung from her neck. Kang Wyan, executive assistant. He leaned back in his chair. You are the new hire? No, I'm the new storm you will be denying ever happened. A pause. Jungkook blinked. Was that sarcasm? She moved to the desk without being asked. Place a stack of printouts with precise alignment and give a polite, almost mocking smile. Your 10 a.m. board calls has been rescheduled. I informed the CFO already. Also, your coffee has been switched back to oat milk since. And I quote from your assistant number 5. You threw the almond milk across the room like a toddler. His jaw tightened. How do you know about that? I read the last assistant's resignation emails, all 11 pages, colorful. Really, Jungkook stared at her. There it was again, that tone, blunt, confident, but never disrespectful. She was not trying to flirt, she was not trying to impress, and worst of all, she did not seem the least bit afraid of him. Don't get comfortable, you will be replaced in a week. You could try, but there's a clause from the chairman himself. She slid a folder across the desk. Her fingers never touched his, but he felt something electric anyway. He opened the folder. His eyes scanned the highlighted section. This assistant is to remain in service for non-negotiable minimum of 1 year. Dismissal only permitted under breach of law or contract. All complaints to be sent directly to the board. Silence. Vine took a step back. I am not here to impress you, Mr. John. I am here to organize your circus and keep the fire to a low simmer. That's all. I stay out of your way and you stay out of mine. Deal? He looked up slowly, and for the first time John Jungkook felt cornered not by a scandal, not by a rival company, but by a woman who knew exactly where to draw the line and dared him to cross it. She turned on her heel. Your coffee is on your left. You are welcome. The door clicked shut behind her. Jungkook did not move. She was supposed to flinch. They all flinched. Instead, she drew a line in the sand and then dared him to step over it. He stared at the folder again. 1 year, no negotiable. He scoffed under his breath. Fine, if she wanted to stay, he would make sure she regretted it. He thought. 10:17 a.m. Carl Franz pushed the investor call by exactly 11 minutes, not 10:11, he said as he walked by her desk without stopping. Consider it done. 11:42 a.m. I want a printed copy of every meeting I have ever had with the product team, sorted by year, color coded and bound. He paused at her desk again. By lunch. Sure, she said. Also, the product team says you never showed up to half of them. Should I color code those blank? He glared at her. She did not smirk. She did not gloat. Just went back to typing, cool as marble. 1:03 p.m. He tossed a flash drive on her desk. Decrypt this. No one could figure it out. She picked it up, spun it between her fingers. You named the password after your dog. It was in your planner notes. Took me 6 minutes. He stared. She slid a fresh document across the desk. Also, the data inside was misfiled. Your legal team put supplier invoices under internal payroll. That's why it did not add up last quarter. For a moment. 3:36 p.m. He stood outside the glass wall of his office, arms crossed, watching her. She had moved from task to task like clockwork. Not a single shy, not a misstep. She barely looked at her phone. She did not gossip with other admins. She did not even glance twice at the VIP who tried to flirt with her at the water cooler. She just worked. Focused, efficient, still unbothered, no cracks, but it was not just her work ethic that unsettled him. It was that she never tried to make herself small in his presence. That alone made her dangerous. 5:57 p.m. You can go, he said gruffly, packing his laptop. She was already standing by the door with a file in her arms. I know, she replied, but the Tokyo division just sent a revised quarterly. You will want to look before the 9 a.m. call. It's messy, but I highlighted the red flags. He took it slowly from her hand. Their fingers did not touch again. Good, he said, more quiet than usual. Have a good evening, Mr. John. She turned to leave, but right before the door closed behind her, she paused, just enough to him to notice, just enough to let the silence stretch. Then, without turning around, by the way, you should stop trying so hard. His brows furrowed. At what? To break me, she said simply. It's exhausting to watch. Click. She was gone, and Jungkook, CEO of a multinational tech empire, was left staring at the closed door like a schoolboy who just called out by the only guy in class who did not care. He had money. Later. Days bled into weeks, and still she did not break. He tried everything, back-to-back meetings with no breathing room, surprise audits she had to organize in 12 hours, presentations restructured at midnight and expected at dawn. 3 national conference calls in one day, each on opposite side of the time zone wheel. Most assistants would have snapped by day 4. Vian just adapted. Her coffee gets stronger, her hair gets moister, but her precision unmatched. Her tongue still sharp, her tone calm. And worse, she did not complain. Not once. Not to him. Not to anyone. There were late nights, of course. Night when the office emptied out and she was still there, sitting with one leg folded under her, eyes flicking between spreadsheets, glasses sliding down her nose. The city lights bled through the windows and silhouetted her like a ghost who refused to rest. He watched from his office sometimes. Lights off, door cracked, silent. Once he thought she had fallen asleep, but then she muttered to herself, barely audible, "You are not winning this, Mr. John," and kept typing. He leaned back in his chair and exhaled a laugh he did not know he had been holding. She moved through pressure like water. Did she get tired? Of course. He saw it in the subtle things. How she sat a little longer at her desk before rising. How she sometimes rubbed the base of her neck when she thought no one noticed. But never once did she ask for less. Never once did she say, "I can't." She just adjusted, adapted, endured, and something about that unravaged him more than anything else. He wanted her to react, to snap, to curse his name, or throw something, or slam the damn door. But instead, every single time, she met with him poise and a quiet defense that said, "Is that all you have got?" And that worst part, she was making him curious. How far she could go. How long until she saw a croak. And what would happen if instead of pushing her limits, he crossed his own. Later someday, it started like another morning. Vine stepped into office, composed as always, holding a cream-colored envelope in her hand. She placed the envelope neatly on his desk. Confidential, marked urgent, hand-delivered. Jungkook half focused on his monitor, glanced at the envelope, then back at her. A smirk curled at the corner of his mouth. "What is this? Your resignation letter? At last?" She did not even blink. "If I ever quit, I would pin it on your forehead." He chuckled, low and lazy, violent. "You will need to tone down that for tomorrow night." She narrowed her eyes. "Tomorrow night?" He sat up slowly, taking the envelope and pulled out the invitation. "Political dinner, trade delegates, foreign investors, overpriced wine. They expect me to bring someone who makes me look tolerable." Her expression flattened. "You are taking me?" "Of course," he said. "Who else could possibly keep me in check or endure me?" He said smoothly, rising from his chair. She opened her mouth, but stopped when he started walking around the desk. She shifted slightly. He did not stop. We will need to coordinate schedules, wardrobe logistics, press etiquette, he murmured, steps deliberate. You will have to smile at people with me. She held her ground. I have handled worse. He mused, eyes flicking over her face. But have you ever had to pretend you did not hate me for a full evening? That might be your toughest job yet. He was close now, too close. She took a small, involuntary step back. He noticed and kept moving. You will have to stand next to me the whole night, he said softly. His voice dipped in something heavier now. Smile when I smile. Laugh when I do. Let people think that we actually like each other. I am starting to think you are not acting at all. She blinked another step back until third her spine hit the wall. He did not touch her, did not need to, just stood there inches away, arms at his side, but his presence towering, caging, watching her with the dark, unreadable gaze. And after the dinner, he murmured, eyes looking on hers, you will debrief me alone in my office. Like always. Her jaw tightened, his smirk deepened. He was proud of himself until something shifted. Her breath hitched, not from fluster, not from fear, but the weight of the moment as it hit him. The heat, the closeness he thought he would control, the sharp line he thought he would walk. This she was not laughing, she was not stuttering, she was just looking at him, face calm, breath caught, and suddenly, so real it could scared him. His fingers twitched, his throat tightened. And Jungkook. Mr. Control, Mr. Cold felt something slip. He stepped back fast, too fast. Reschedule my morning meetings, he said abruptly, turning toward his desk like it was his lifeline. Push everything back. Wine blinked, still pinned against the wall. Why? He did not look at her, just muttered, because it's my order. Silence stretched, and then he added, more to himself than her. That was not work. Minutes later, Vian sat down at her desk, staring at her computer screen. Her finger hovered over the keys, unmoving. It was not the dinner. It was not the pressure, not the hearts, not the politics, not the expectations. It was the way he walked toward her like that, the way his eyes burned, and the way her body reacted despite every line she had drawn between them. For the first time she joined, she could not steady her hands. As long as he talked about work, she thought, just rising slowly, I could manage. But that was not work. That was something else. And she was not ready. The dinner night. From the moment Jungkook walked into the ballroom, his jaw was set. He was used to these events, smiling without meaning it, laughing at things he did not find funny, shaking hands with men who lied easily as they breathed. What he was not used to was her, Vian, standing beside him in a midnight blue satin dress, neckline modest but clinging like it was tailored to know exactly where his eyes would land. Her hair was up, neck bare, simple earrings. No perfume, just a whisper of something like vanilla and ink and whatever she wore after too many hours at work. And her expressions, the same as always, calm, sharp, controlled. Deadly, he had lost count of how many people complimented them. What a striking pair they made. What a refreshing change she was. How lucky he must to have someone so elegant, keeping him in line. Jungkook did not smile, not because it was not true, but because it was too true. Somewhere between the wine and the speeches, he noticed it. The way she touched his wrist when passing him a glance. The way her eyes softened just slightly when he leaned to explain a political detail near her ear. The way their chairs were just a little too close under the table, knees brushing every time she shifted. And then, of course, the dance. Jungkook was not planning to go, no, he never danced like these things. But someone made a joke about the handsome CEO being too stiff to move, and YN, without missing a beat, looked him dead in the eye and said, "Should I confirm that?" And that's how he ended up on the dance floor with her, her hand in his, other on her waist, her skin warm, her posture perfect. Too perfect. She was not looking at him, not directly, but her lashes kept flicking up at him like she could not help it. His thumb grazed the side of her wrist by accident. She sucked in a breath. He felt it in his gut, in the air around them. Not his stare, not his body, not his unbearable need to touch something deeper than skin. He wanted to ask her questions he had no right. He wanted to hear her say his name outside the wall of the office. He wanted. "Mr. Jones," she whispered. His eyes snapped to hers. The music ended, and in the space between their parting palms, he nearly said something reckless. Later in the car, the city blurred past the tinted windows, but neither of them spoke. Jungkook sat beside her, elbows almost touching, legs angled towards her. He had taken off his suit jacket, rolled his sleeves again. She had changed her heels to flat quietly, like she always did after long hours, but the strap of her dress still hurt her shoulders like a sin itself. He cleared his throat. "You handled them well tonight." She nodded. "You did not do too bad yourself." He laughed at a soft scoff. "Is that your version of praise? Don't get greedy." Then stillness, until he shifted. "Tell me something." She looked at him slowly. "What? If I touched your face right now," he asked, voice low, "would you stop me?" She did not know answer right away, and that was answer enough. His finger moved before his brain could stop them, brushing a loose strand of hair from her cheek. She did not pull away, did not flinch, and Jungkook knew. This was not just about want anymore, it was about how long they had fought it, how many rules they buried it under, how many moments like they had rewritten as professional. His hand stayed there on her cheek. He whispered, "This is dangerous." She opened her eyes again, voice barely a breath. "Then why does it feel like the safest thing all day?" His thumb moved to her jaw. Her hand found his wrist. Tension surged, not long, not dramatic, just deep, pulling like gravity. Their face closed the distance slowly until their foreheads touched. Breathe to breathe, still no kiss, not yet, because this was not about rushing. It was about everything they were not allowed to feel, and yet here it was. His voice dropped. "I should stop." "But you would not." No, he would not. But he had wait. Just one more second. For her to say yes, or for one of them to walk away. Her eyes did not move. Her hand still rested lightly on her wrist, thumb brushing once. Just once against his pulse, and that was it. That was the moment. Jungkook knew. Not with heat at first, not with hunger, but with something worse, with restraint. With everything he had held back for weeks now, the near touches, the late night glances, the breath caught in his chest every time she had said his name like it meant something sharp. His lips brushed hers once, soft, barely there. She did not move away, so he did it again. Slower this time, more certain, like this was the moment, natural thing in the world. And it was because when her fingers curled into the fabric of his shirt, when her breath hissed and her mouth opened just slightly, he felt the dam inside him fracture. He did not grab. He just leaned in deeper, tilted his hand, and kissed her like he meant it, like this was not just want, not just heat. Her lips were warm. She tasted like the red wine from dinner, and mint from her breath strip in the car. and maybe every quiet hour they had ever spent pretending not to notice each other. Like she did not wanted the space, neither did he. Their foreheads stayed pressed together in the silence. Nothing loud, no words yet, just breath shared, skin humming. Then softly, so softly, she whispered, "You crossed it." He knew what she meant. The line, the one they never said out loud, but he never dared to preach. Still, his answer was just as soft. Silence. So pull me back. Then her voice broke quite real. "I don't want to." His hand cupped her jaw gently, thumb brushing under her chin. As he smiled just barely, and for once it was not smug or cocky or teasing, it was honest. Like he finally found something worth losing control for. And between them, finally, there was no work, no title, no rule, just them and the beginning of something neither of them could deny anymore. The end.